These dark days call for crimson nights, so when the sun sets, the crimson moon rises.
The Crimson Moon rises. Hey, Crimson Knights. Good to see you all here in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Tonight's going to be a very special stream because we are doing a sub-night redeemed by Sabyasachi using Mune Rocks in the loyalty store. And tonight, he has elected to have us spend some time reading a new series that he's written inside of one of our creative channels in the Discord, which he is entitled A Soul's Journey of Emotions. Sounds deep, sounds heavy, sounds like it's got some 80s vibes to it. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Crimson Knights will read for a while. I have found that pretty often on these reading streams, after a while, I start to kind of lose my voice. I strain my voice just from talking and reading out loud so much at the end of the day. So, you know, we'll go as late as I can or until we get to the end of whatever's been written. But knowing Sabyasachi, he already wrote way more than we will ever read. Knowing Saby, he's already written far more than we'll ever be able to read. But we're going to do our best, have a good time hanging out tonight and reading through A Soul's Journey of Emotions, another series written by our very own Sabyasachi. This is going to be interesting. And as usual, before we jump into the stream, let's give our G Fuel spinner a whirl and see which flavor is going to be powering our stream tonight. There we go. It's laggy, man. It's just a laggy spinner right now. Saby said if chili dogs or pickle comes, he will flip. You are not wrong, Saby. If I gotta drink chili dogs or pickle juice tonight, it's rigged. That's all I can say. Absolutely rigged if I have to drink one of those. It's hard for me to tell, like, is this thing slowing down right on one of these flavors? The red is the chili dogs, the green is the pickle juice, the whites are expired, all the black are in fair. Oh my gosh, that scared me. What do we got? Mega potion. Okay, I'm down for some mega potion tonight. That's the second time we've ever rolled mega potion. Let me grab it. Now, I would say that Mega Potion is one of the more unique flavors that I have. It's inspired by Monster Hunter Rise. And it's a jackfruit flavored G Fuel flavor. So it's got some interesting flavor to it. But I like it. It's a little bit it's a little bit weird to me, to my taste, but overall I like it. I like the weirdness of it. Tastes like kind of fresh and unique to me. so I like it. Mystic, welcome, welcome. How's it going? So good, been so busy. How about you? Thanks for asking about me specifically, Mystic, and nobody else. I'm doing great, man. I'm excited for tonight's stream, and I'm glad that you are here. Cheers. Saby, he was talking to me. He was talking to me, asking how I'm doing. No, I'm doing well. Thank you, everybody, for asking. You guys are always... You're far too kind. You're far too kind asking how I'm doing. No, I'm doing well. Crimson Wife has been out of the country since Thursday, and I would say overall we're managing pretty well. The only issue, the major issue that I had today, man, is that I've had this tire that for a while... It's had like a slow leak. My car tire has had a slow leak. And so every week, like once a week, I've had to just kind of fill it up. You know, it gets a little bit low. I fill it up, whatever, you know, I've just been filling it up with air. Today, that thing went completely flat in the parking lot at work. I was trying to get home. So I was trying to get home and I was like, all right, am I going to change the tire here in the parking lot, or will I just like go home and deal with it at home? I live close to work. All right. It's not that far. So I was like, let me just see if I can get home and I'll mess with the tire at home once I'm, you know, back home with the kids. Need to get home to the kids. So I get in the car, I drive about 3 blocks and this thing is just flapping. It doesn't sound good at all. I'm like, I gotta change this tire. So I pull over, I clear out my trunk, I put everything, get everything out of my trunk, and I get the spare tire out of the trunk. I jack the car up on the side of the road, and I'm getting ready to try to get the spare tire on, but I go to, put like the socket wrench onto the lug nuts on that like hold the tire on, and it doesn't fit. The nuts are too big for the socket wrench. I can't get the tire off. And so I'm like messing with this for a while, and it's finally like, there's nothing I can do. Like I cannot get this tire off. It's impossible. The tool is not the right size. So I lower the car back down, put everything back in the trunk, and then I flapped my way with the flashers on all the way home. Then at home, I tried to, you know, I got a different size socket wrenches to try to change the tire. None of them are the right size. None of them fit. I'm Googling. It turns out that some Fords have an issue where the lug nuts like get all warped and out of shape, and you can't get them off because they won't fit the socket wrench. So I think I literally cannot get the tire off of my car, and I now have to get the thing towed so that the mechanic can like get these tires off somehow and give me new tires. So I was just like, God, the wife's out of the country and this is what I have to deal with right now. It's just frustrating, man. Can't life just be like the normal level of hard, you know? And in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. I'm blessed. Like I have a car, right? I'll get it fixed. It's fine. But it's just like, you know, in my life, that's an annoying thing that I have to deal with. Maybe get an Uber every day. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. The thing is, my work is close enough that I probably could bike to work, but then I'll get like all sweaty and I wear a suit at work. So it's like, it's just, I don't really want to do that, you know? I'm trying to look up the weather for tomorrow, because that's the other thing. If it rains, like biking in a suit while it's raining, that's not going to go well. Looks like tomorrow's going to be Shower, rain later in the day. I don't know. We gotta figure it out. Saby said, Crimson, buy a new Lamborghini or a Porsche. I'll just put my 99-cent super chat dono that I got yesterday towards that. And then a Lamborghini will only cost me like $499,000.
G Fuel.
Will do, Jeremiah. Cheers. Jeremiah, how's it going, my friend? Good to see you. Welcome. Jumping Jacks. Glad to hear that Latrice and Mystic both had good weekends. Glad everyone's doing well. .rec was here, I think, before the stream started, so hi to .rec as well. And again, welcome to all the Crimson Knights. Thanks for liking the video, following over on Twitch. Thanks for subscribing or joining the channel on YouTube. And whether you're chatting or not, however you choose to engage, I hope that you enjoy the stream. Let me do those jumping jacks. Also, Saby says, yesterday was my greatest day ever this month. Why? What happened, dude? Was it my stream last night? That's what you liked? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $3,140 jumping jacks on the stream, basically in like the past year or so. There wouldn't be enough room for the whole family, Latrice. I don't want them in my car. It's my car, not theirs. I'm kidding. All right, Crimson Knights, let's get into reading. What would you look at that? Here we are, Crimson Knights. Welcome. Welcome to my reading den. The Crimson Reading Den. Welcome, welcome. All right, Crimson Knights. We're now going to read A Soul's Journey of Emotions, written by none other than Sabyasachi, our beloved Moon Mod and Crimson Knights. I'll be reading it right here in our book off the shelf, but you can also follow along if you'd like in the Discord, which everyone is welcome to join should you so choose. Let's get some Crimson Moons in the chat for Sabyasachi. Crimson Moons in the chat if you got them. Nick, welcome, welcome. How's it going, man? All right. Up here, Saby said, this is the start of the Soul's Journey of Emotions private channel. Hello, everyone. This is a new channel where I share my new series that I've been working on. Title of my series, A Soul's Journey of Emotions. Here we go. Are you ready, Crimson Knights? Get some Crimson Moons in the chat and put your hands together for the beginning of A Soul's Journey of Emotions written by Sabyasachi. Here we go. Episode 0, Intro. Neon Metropolis, a city of neon life. Upbeat pop music with a driving rhythm sets the scene. I think we got that down. The first rays of dawn peek over the endless sprawl of neon metropolis. Skyscrapers adorned with a kaleidoscope of neon signs pierce the pre-dawn darkness. Inside a cozy apartment, the insistent buzz of the alarm clock pulls Akira out of a dream. He throws off the covers, his phone displaying the latest stock market trends, and heads for the kitchen. His mom flips golden brown pancakes as the radio blares a morning news report about the latest city council debates. Narrator, an energetic young woman. Welcome to Neon Metropolis, the city that never sleeps. A concrete jungle pulsating with life where dreams chase after the sunrise. Scene 2, Rush Hour Symphony. Down on the street, a symphony of honking horns fill the air as another workday revs into gear. Sleek, customized cars compete for space with rumbling delivery trucks and buzzing motorbikes. Pedestrians clad in a diverse mix of suits, uniforms, and casual wear weave through the throng, earbuds firmly in place, fueled by steaming cups of coffee. Above it all, sleek trams snake their way through the city, their digital displays flashing with news updates. From the high rises of Wall Street to the greasy spoon diners tucked in forgotten alleys, Neon Metropolis is a beehive of activity. Here, ambitious young entrepreneurs hustle to build billion-dollar empires, while seasoned artisans perfect their craft in sun-drenched workshops. Every corner hums with the relentless pursuit of passion and purpose. Scene 3, Learning in the Neon Age. Inside a brightly lit classroom with a group of students, clothes splashed with bold neon colors, erupt in laughter after their teacher cracks a joke, spends good time with them. Interactive screens showcase the day's lesson, the history of climate change. At the back of the room, a group of students huddled over a project, their latest app design projected onto a nearby whiteboard. The young minds of Neon Metropolis are the city's lifeblood. Brimming with creativity and a hunger for knowledge, they grapple with the challenges of today. Whether dissecting a preserved specimen in biology class or coding a program to monitor air quality, these future leaders are shaping the city's tomorrow. Scene 4, Neon Oasis. A group of friends hurtle down the Twister Terror, a water slide pulsating with vibrant neon lights. Parents sporting colorful sunglasses and oversized beach hats lounge on pool chairs, their phones flashing as they capture every exhilarating moment, but get hit with water splashes all over. Womp womp. Nearby, a food truck blasts music as it serves up gourmet burgers and ice cream cones sculpted into futuristic shapes. When the relentless energy of Neon Metropolis demands a break, its citizens head for the city's crown jewels, the sprawling water parks. Here, amidst swirling water slides and pulsating wave pools, families forge memories that will last a lifetime. From adrenaline-pumping plunges to lazy afternoons spent perfecting sandcastle architecture, these aquatic havens offer a refreshing escape from the urban jungle. Fast montage of various scenes. A group of skateboarders from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Group insanely navigate the obstacles as if their boards are in control with custom neon designs. Friends gather in a rooftop garden overlooking the glittering cityscape, grilling burgers and laughing as the sun sets. Delivery boys zip through the air as the blinking LED lights of the vehicles create a mesmerizing display only to be seen in movies. Neon Metropolis is a melting pot of innovation and tradition. It's a city where cutting-edge technology blends seamlessly with the pulse of human connection. From rooftop barbecues to under the city's neon glow to the street performers belting out songs with passionate fire, the spirit of community glows in every corner of this extraordinary city. The music reaches to a stopping point as the title card appears for the city. Neon Metropolis, City of Vice 6. Neon Metropolis, City of Vice 6. Episode 1, Morning of the Chaos. Saby said, INT means internal, in short, in my thinking. Okay. Internal, Saby's apartment, morning. Sunlight streaks through the blinds, illuminating a messy bedroom? Saby, 21, perpetually tired, lies sprawled across the bed, limbs tangled in the sheets. Of obnoxious sounds erupts. A rooster crows on a digital alarm clock. A disco ball alarm bounces off the wall, blaring techno music. Oh, look at that! Techno music just came in right on cue. And a wind-up alarm shaped like a monkey starts cymbal crashing. Creepy and annoying. By the way, creepy and annoying. Saby groans, burying his head under his pillow. Saby mumbling, 5 more minutes, Mom. Wait, I don't even live with my mom anymore. The rooster alarm clock crows again. And the disco ball one flashes blinding lights. With a frustrated yell, Saby throws the covers off, sending the monkey alarm flying. He stumbles out of bed, tripping over the disco ball alarm and landing face first on the floor. Saby groaning, Mondays, am I right? And I hate gravity. He scrambles to his feet, grabbing a banana peel from the counter on his way to the bathroom. He slams the door shut just as the monkey alarm starts its incessant cymbal crashing. Internal, Saby's bathroom, a moment later. Saby brushes his teeth with one hand, frantically trying to find a matching sock with the other. He finally throws his hands up in defeat. Screw matching, just don't let them smell. Internal, Saby's apartment, continuous. Dressed in mismatched socks and a wrinkled shirt, Saby grabs a half-eaten protein bar and throws it in his bag. He races out the door, slamming it behind him. External street, later. Saby sprints down the sidewalk, dodging pedestrians and narrowly avoiding a rogue shopping cart. He glances at his watch, panicking. Oh my gosh! Gotta be faster than a speeding bullet and less sweaty than a gym sock. That's what I was just saying, by the way. Like, when I get to work, I need to get there quickly, and I need to not be sweaty and smelly, right? So, I got the same problems as this Saby character in this book. Suddenly, he spots a black leather wallet lying on the sidewalk. He stops, eyeing it cautiously. Score 1 for Saby. Someone's probably freaking out right now, though. He bends down and picks it up. It feels soft and expensive. Inside, there's a wad of cash and a credit card with a picture of him? Huh. Weird. Maybe identical twins? He takes a closer look at the credit card. Sebastian P. Dunderhead. Sebastian P. Dunderhead? Who's that ugly guy? Wait a minute. Flicks the card over. Oh, look, it's me. Saby's face falls. He looks around to see if anyone noticed him picking up his own wallet. Luckily, the coast is clear. Great, just great. Now I look like a complete idiot who's dropped his own wallet and then pretended to find it. He stuffs the wallet back in his pocket, feeling a surge of embarrassment. He sighs and continues walking, shoulders slumped, muttering to himself. Sebastian P. Dunderhead, huh? Maybe I should start answering to that. At least it sounds slightly less, well, less like me. External grocery store. Later. Saby walks through the automatic doors, the fluorescent lights a harsh contrast to the morning sun. He punches in his time card, the clock displaying Sebastian P. Dunderhead above his photo. Maybe I don't need a new name after all, maybe just a new life. My life sucks anyways. Preferably one where I'm not constantly tripping over myself, literally and figuratively. He puts on a smile and heads towards the produce section, ready to face another day as Sebastian P. Dunderhead, grocery store extraordinaire. Or at least that's what the name tag says. Aisle 5 buzzes with activity as Saby meticulously stacks cans of beans. Suddenly, the automatic doors whoosh open, announcing the arrival of Terry, 20s, slick back hair, designer suit, and Chad, 20s, bulging biceps, equally expensive looking clothes. Both work for Zenith Technologies, a high-end tech company headquartered in Neon Metropolis. They strut down the aisle, their laughter echoing off the shelves. Terry, pointing at a display of discount toilet paper. Hey, Dunderhead, stocking the bargain bin again? Looks like your career's going places, just like those one-ply wonders. Chad chuckles. Seeing his stock options are probably worth more than that entire shelf combined. What do you even do with all that minimum wage? Buy a new pair of mismatched socks? Saby grits his teeth, his mind racing with witty comebacks. He envisions himself tripping Terry with a strategically placed banana peel, or launching into a Shakespearean monologue about the dignity of honest labor. Delivered in a flawless British accent, of course. However, reality sets in. The timing of that song, too, dude. That's hilarious. Saby's inner monologue. Okay, new plan. Ignore. Maintain eye contact. Appear completely unfazed by their douchebaggery. With a practiced smile plastered on his face, Saby says, "Good morning, gentlemen. Looking sharp as always." He winks at Chad, who looks momentarily confused. Terry scoffs, "Whatever, grocery boy. Just make sure you have enough ramen in stock for your next gourmet meal." Ignoring Terry's jab, Saby grabs a box of cereal and scans it with a flourish. "Anything else I can help you with today, Zenith executives?" He adds the last part with a hint of playful sarcasm. Terry and Chad exchange glances, unsure how to react. Saby's unexpected confidence throws them off their game. "Nah, we're good, just browsing." They turn and head down the aisle, their laughter subdued. As they disappear around the corner, Saby lets out a silent victory cry and pumps his fist into the air, behind a shelf of canned goods, of course. Welcome, Leah. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. What's everybody thinking of this new series so far? Leah said, "It's been a crazy night here in my hometown. Just gonna let you all know that we're experiencing bad weather here." Oh my gosh, Leah. I hope that you're doing okay. Are you guys getting tornadoes again, or what's going on? The song time has been perfect, haven't they, Saby? That's been awesome. All right, we can keep going. Saby's inner monologue. Round 1 to Dunderhead. Let's see how they handle a little retail therapy dished out by their friendly neighborhood grocery store worker. The air crackles with tension as Terry and Chad continue their tirade. Terry sniffing. "Is that broccoli I smell? Don't tell me you actually eat that stuff, Dunderhead. Real men stick to protein shakes and God fuels, aka GDFL." Chad slapping Terry on the back. Yeah, I gotta keep that bod fueled for all that. What do you even do here again? Stocking shells? More like shelf warming, am I right? Saby clenches his fist, his smile strained. He's about to retort, a witty comeback burning on the tip of his tongue, when the automatic doors hiss open again. This time, however, the fluorescent lights dim slightly, as if under a spotlight. In walks Madison, 20s, sharp bob haircut, power suit that looks both comfortable and intimidating. Madison isn't just any Zenith employee, she's their rising star, the top salesperson who consistently breaks company records. Whispers follow her like a cool breeze. Ice Queen, closer extraordinaire, the woman who can sell ice to Eskimos. That's a good one. I know a Maddie. She's very famous. Terry and Chad straighten their backs instantly, a nervous glint in their eyes. Madison doesn't waste time with pleasantries. Madison, voice clipped but undeniably cool. Terry, Chad, progress reports for the Paddleson account are due by noon. Don't make me remind you again. The air seems to crackle with electricity of her authority. Terry stutters. Chad mumbles something about an important meeting, and before Saby can even blink, they're scurrying away like startled cockroaches. Whoa! He watches, jaw slightly agape, as Madison turns towards him. Madison, a hint of a smile plays on her lips. Nice save with the cereal, dunderhead. Saby's brain short circuits. The woman who could sell ice to Eskimos just complimented him. He manages a stammered reply. Thanks, Madison. You looked... Raises an eyebrow. Intimidating? Well, yeah, a little, but also... He searches for the right word, his cheeks warming. Amazing! Madison lets out a short laugh, the sound like wind chimes on a summer evening. Don't let those two clowns fool you. They wouldn't know amazing if it bit them in the perfectly sculpted glutes. Really? Saby, you made me read that. You made me read that line aloud on stream. Come on, man. That's like worse than getting rickrolled. Leah said, yes, tornadoes again. Seems like we can't get a break from anything, especially when it comes to bad weather. It happens this time of the year, unfortunately. Yeah, I think it literally just comes with the territory out there. Well, stay safe, Leah, and please keep us updated with whatever's going on. Saby can't help but grin. In that moment, the fluorescent lights seem a little brighter, the aisles a little less mundane. He might just be a grocery store worker, but for a fleeting moment, he feels like the star of his own neon-lit story. And he actually is, because this literally is a neon-lit story in which he is the star. So, he literally is. He just doesn't know it. Saby's heart practically performs a tap dance in his chest. This encounter with Madison, the epitome of cool incompetence, was like winning the lottery in neon lights. He blurts out the first thing that comes to mind. I think I'm in love! The fluorescent lights flicker dramatically for a moment, then the automated voice of Brenda, the store's inventory system, rings out. But this time, Brenda sounds suspiciously like a sassy teenager with a microphone. Brenda, through the speakers, dripping sarcasm. Oh wow, Saby, breaking news. You've discovered the concept of feelings after all these years. Did you need me to locate the eye with greeting cards that say happy first glance infatuation? Brenda, through the speakers, dripping with sarcasm. Love detected in aisle 5. Initiating emergency self-esteem check for employee Sebastian P. Dunderhead. Current readings indicate a class 3 case of delusions. Saby's drawl drops faster than a discount banana peel. Madison, however, bursts into laughter, a sound so bright and genuine it could rival the neon lights outside. Brenda, you weren't supposed to roast me in front of, well, anyone, really. Madison, wiping away a tear. Wow, Brenda, you're brutal, but kind of accurate, aren't you? Brenda, still sassy. Sorry, honey, but public declarations of love for someone you barely know are a violation of aisle etiquette. Plus, the last thing we need is a spilled love potion incident like the last Valentine's Day. Remember the self-checkout aisle uprising? Saby's face flushes the color of a ripe tomato. He opens his mouth to retort, but Brenda cuts him off again. Employee Dunderhead, romantic compatibility with individual codename Zenith Ice Queen is statistically improbable. Recommend focusing on restocking inventory before the next customer complains about a lack of feelings in the cereal aisle. A collective shudder runs through the staff as they recall the traumatic event Brenda referred to. Madison, wiping a tear from her eye, this time from genuine laughter, shakes her head at Saby. Looks like Brenda has a point, Romeo. Maybe hold off on the grand pronouncements until you have at least exchanged numbers. Saby hangs his head in defeat, Brenda's words echoing in his mind. Maybe love in the neon jungle wasn't just unpredictable, it was downright embarrassing. But as he steals a glance at Madison, whose smile is both amused and kind, he can't help but think there might be a delicious second act to this story, even if it starts with a public roasting courtesy of Brenda, the sassy AI. Fade out. End of episode 1. That's the end of episode 1, ladies and gentlemen. Crimson Knights. Wait, what's going? Latrice is saying bye, 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 bye. Mental break time. Everyone's begging that this not be a real book. It's a Discord book. Fade in. Internal grocery store. Day. Sunlight streams through the automatic doors, illuminating the store with Saby as he carefully organizes a shelf of canned tuna. A subtle blush warms his cheeks as he recalls Madison's smile from their recent interaction. The memory sends a pleasant buzz through him. Brenda, VO, professional. Attention, all associates. Cantaloupe sale extended for the remainder of the week. Saby startles slightly pulled from his position. He glances around, hoping no one witnesses daydream. Thankfully, the coast is clear. A soft smile curls his lips. Brenda, VO, dripping with sarcasm. Oh, brother, here we go again. Looks like someone's malfunctioning. Internal flirtation protocols are on the disorder. Saby, muttering, Brenda, you know you don't have to announce my love life to the entire store like a discount town announcer? The unmistakable presence of Terry and Chad fills the aisle. Saby braces himself, anticipating their usual taunts. Well, 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 if it isn't the love-struck stock boy. Still fantasizing about Miss Zenith over here? Newsflash, dude. She wouldn't give you the time of day unless you were ringing up her groceries, not daydreaming about them. Chad snorts. Yeah, pretty sure standards are a few aisles higher than canned tuna and romantic delusions. You're too good for her. She's top-notch, and you're a low-life worm. Saby ignores them, a newfound confidence radiating from him. He winks playfully at a nearby customer. A friendly elderly woman selecting apples. Oh, man. Saby says, looking sharp today, Mrs. Henderson. Granny Smith or Fuji for the apple pie this week? Mrs. Henderson beaming, Sebastian, you always know how to brighten a girl's day. Fuji it is, dear. Terry and Chad exchange confused glances. This self-assured, composed Saby is a far cry from the easy target they were accustomed to. They mumble something about protein powder deficiency and make a hasty retreat. Brenda, VO, deadpan. Unproductive negativity successfully deterred, initiating customer service charm protocols for aisle 3. Saby throws back his head with laughs, the sound echoing through the store with a genuine cheer that wasn't there before. Fade out, now fades in. Internal Saby's apartment, night, weeks later. Saby sprawls on the floor, a goofy grin plastered across his face. A ball of brown fur bounces around his legs, barking excitedly. It's a puppy, a scruffy mix with floppy ears and boundless energy. Saby's scratching the puppy behind the ears. So, Dogpool, you think Madison will like him? He made Dogpool his little puppy. Oh my gosh, Saby. I'm scared to see what, if and what I will be in this story, dude. I can only imagine. He found the puppy abandoned in an alley behind the store, its scrawny body and pleading eyes tugging at Saby's heartstrings. He adopted the dog on the spot. Saby chose to name him Dogpool and in a moment, courtesy of Brenda, who helpfully pointed out the pun potential, though not without adding, seriously, Saby, was Deadpool already taken? Dogpool barks and licks Saby's face, his tail wagging excitedly. Saby throws his head back and laughs, the sound brimming with genuine joy. He can't wait for Madison to meet his new furry friend. Another exciting chapter unfolding in the vibrant curtain of life under the neon lights of Neon Metropolis. Fade out. End of episode 2. Rex says, Saby, am I allowed to have a character? Am I still allowed to have a character? And Latree says, but cats are better! Well, we don't have a cat pool, Crimson Knight. So, Saby said, you will be in the story as a major character, my sweet Leah. And yup, Rec, everyone will be in my series with very soon reveals. Dogpool is, in fact, a dog. Neon Metropolis, Episode 3, Dog Days and Jerk Blockers. Fade in, external, park, day. Sunlight going through the leaves of towering oak trees, dappling the park with a warm glow. Saby walks beside Madison, a comfortable silence settling between them. Dogpool, a whirlwind of fur and cannot find words, he's too cute! Let me use Google, sorry, found words. Enthusiasm, bounds ahead, sniffing every interesting blade of grass and chasing playful butterflies. Saby, smiling. Doesn't he look happy? Like a little brown hurricane on 4 paws? Madison, he's adorable. Look at those little legs go. So, does this mean that Saby got Maddie's number? Or what? She bends down to scratch Dogpool behind the ears, her eyes sparkling with affection. I love you. You did a great job rescuing him, Saby. Saby's jaw drops. Did she just say love? Did she mean the puppy or... thanks, Madison. I mean, Dogpool seems to like you too. He throws Madison a nervous glance, his heart hammering a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Madison smiling knowingly. I meant Dogpool, silly, although you're not so bad yourself, Saby. A blush creeps up Saby's neck, a goofy grin spreading across his face. He fumbles for a witty reply, but Brenda helpfully cuts in. Creeps... Oh, wait. Not gonna lie, I just thought I heard gunshots outside. Nuts. Anyway, but Brenda cuts in, sounding suspiciously like a bored teenager scrolling through social media. So I don't understand. They're in a park. How is Brenda in a park? how is Brenda the AI with them right now? Tell me a little about the AI situation, Saby. Brenda, VO, monotone. Oh, brother, here we go again. Initiating Operation Smooth Operator. Success rate statistically unlikely. Saby mentally groans. Brenda's attempts at romantic advice were often more brutal than helpful. Well, in that case, I'd say Dogpool and I are pretty possum team. He winces at his own pun. But Madison bursts out laughing, the sound like wind chimes on a summer evening. Madison, oh dear Saby, you're terrible, but in a strangely weird way. She didn't say strangely nice way, she just said strangely weird way. They continue their walk, their conversation flowing easily. Saby learns about Madison's love for classic sci-fi movies, a shared passion, while she listens with amusement as he recounts his most outrageous Brenda-induced customer service encounters. External grocery store later. Saby steps out of the store after his shift, Dogpool trotting happily beside him. As they round the corner, they see Terry and Chad harassing a group of teenagers attempting to return a malfunctioning blender. Terry, smug. This thing looks like it went through a meat grinder. You sure you didn't try blending a bowling ball in there, kid? Yeah, company policy clearly states no returns on user-inflicted damage. The teenagers look distraught, their faces flushed with red with frustration. Saby clenches his fist, his blood beginning to boil. Suddenly, Dogpool lets out a loud bark, Ruff! And launches himself at Chad's legs. With surprising agility for his short stature, Dogpool wraps his paws around Chad's ankles and starts tugging playfully. Chad yelling, "Get this mud off me! Get it off!" Chad shrieks and jumps around, trying to dislodge Dogpool. Terry stares in disbelief, momentarily stunned by the unexpected canine intervention. Saby strides forward, a heroic smile showing on his face. Saby says, "Looks like Dogpool here has a different opinion on your customer service skills, Terry. Your service clearly sucks." He calmly helps to get Dogpool off from Chad's legs. The teenagers look on in awe, a spark of hope returning to their eyes. Teenager 1 whispering, "Dude, your dog is awesome." Saby says, "Thanks, he knows how to pick on bullies." Madison smiling at the teenagers, "Let's get this return process properly, shall we? We don't want any more user-inflicted damage accusations, now would we?" Terry and Chad exchange defeated glances, their earlier arrogance completely evaporated. They slink away, muttering under their breath about hairy little ankle biters. Saby watches them go, in defeat of the previous encounter, but with Madison by his side and Dogpool as his furry protector, he feels like he could tackle anything the neon jets throw his way. Whispers in the rubble. Fade in. External. Abandoned factory. Dusk. The sun dipped below the buildings, casting long shadows across the cracked pavement of the abandoned factory. Dogpool, usually bouncing with puppy energy, trotted beside Saby in a subdued silence. His nose twitched nervously, his tail tucked low between his legs. Saby, phone flashlight cutting through the gloom, felt a weird vibe crawling down his spine. Dust motes danced in the air, illuminated by the weak beam. The place smelled like a forgotten gym sock left under a rusty bed. Huge skeletal machines loomed around them, silent giants from a bygone era. Saby said, Brenda is not there in park, but the AI wanted to keep her hilarious, so I did this in a way. In reality, she's not there. Brenda is inspired by Cortana and Siri combined. Latrice said, I'm done. I'm mad right now. That's the #1 thing that people add in stories. That's just, I can't even explain. I'm going for real. Bye. Wait, I don't understand. What are you talking about, Latrice? What's the #1 thing? What's the #1 thing people add in stories? I missed something. Welcome back, Leah, and hello, Quora. How's it going, man? Citrian said, I'm just checking in to say I better not be in this novel. I didn't write it. I don't know what's coming, dude. I don't know what's coming. It's another fan fiction about the Crimson Knights written by Saby. Who knows what's coming? But how's it going, Citrian? We had a rough time last night without you, man. That Loaded resurgence mode. It's intense. We got third and second place finishes, but we just couldn't quite close the deal last night. And I think we're just getting so many sweaty lobbies because Jake is like level 550. So I was holding my own overall, I would say. Like I feel like overall I was playing well, but it was just like such a chaotic mess. We didn't get any wins. Oh well. But hope you're doing well, Citrian. Latrice said, people be saying they like someone, but when the person finds out, they're like, no, I was talking about something else. Like she knew she wasn't talking about the dog. Maybe she legitimately was talking about the dog, Latrice. We don't know. We don't have the technology. John Cena! Welcome to the stream. How's it going, John? Good to see you, man. We are in the middle of reading through a new fan fiction series written by Sabyasachi, so we're having a chill, just chatting type of stream tonight. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thanks for liking the video. Maybe subscribe, join, follow it on the channel, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Much appreciated. Cora said, so how do I get stream avatar points? All right, so the way that you get stream avatar points is you have to spend Mune Rocks in the loyalty store. All right, you can buy avatar points in the loyalty store. Then once you buy those avatar points, I have to manually give them to you still. But once you buy them, then you go to the avatar plugin and you can spend your points to buy different things and equip them to your avatar character. So that's how you upgrade your avatar. Hope that's helpful. I really like my avatar. The Crimson Overlord, Jedi Knight. No, Sith Lord. The Crimson Sith Lord. Alright, let's continue. Dogpool skidded to a halt, a low whine rumbling in his chest. He pointed his furry nose into a shadowed corner, fur bristling along his back. Saby's breath caught. Something about that corner felt dead wrong. Cautiously, phone light sweeping the area, Saby saw something that made his stomach clench. Tucked amongst the debris were two sets of dog skeletons.
Mune Rocks redeemed.
One big, one much smaller. Quora with 1,000 avatar points.
Day, another victory for
another
the OG.
victory for the OG.
Taking down the sweats.
Huddled together with two even tinier skeletons beside them, Dogpool's family right there, cold and still. All right, hold on. Give me a second. I gotta remember. It's been a little bit since I've done the stream avatar command, so just give me a second here. All right, there you go, Cora. You've now got 1,000 avatar points. Congratulations. I'm excited to see what you do. John said, sweet my... no, sweat. You know what's off today? It was 74 degrees today, and I'm not wearing a work-appropriate t-shirt, so I had to wear my sweatshirt? I got a sweet spring, summer, like light green, lime green suit, and I wore that today. Pretty baller, pretty baller. All right, let's keep reading. I got sweating my you-know-what's off. I gotcha. Now I see what you're saying. I wasn't reading that correctly. Now here's the question, though. I can't... I don't actually know what... I don't know what you're sweating off, though, is the thing, John, because I would say at minimum there's two options of what you're talking about. You could be saying sweating my butt off, or you could be saying sweating your balls off. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say balls. But you let me know which one it is. Let me know, John, where the sweat is. Confirm, balls. Balls confirmed. All right, anyway, let's keep reading. Cautiously, phone lights sweeping the area. Saby saw something that made his stomach clench. Tucked amongst the debris were two sets of dog skeletons. I already read this, didn't I? One big, one much smaller, huddled together with two even tinier skeletons beside them. Dogpool's family right there, cold and still. What the what? I already read that, but I did not process what I read. What the heck? Dogpool's whole little doggy family is dead and they're all skeletons huddled together. This just took... Where are we? Where even are we? In an abandoned factory? Like, why are we there? Why are we in this abandoned factory? This story really took a turn. Okay. Saby might have to explain that one. Like, why? What? I didn't skip anything, though. We went right into Whispers in the Rubble. We're in this factory, and here we are. Dogpool's entire family is dead. What? Alright, anyway. The realization hit Saby like a ton of bricks. That's an understatement. Hit me like a ton of bricks. Dogpool had led him here to his lost family. A heartbroken whimper escaped the puppy's throat, morphing into a series of mournful howls that echoed through the empty space. Saby felt tears prick his own eyes. "Oh man, this is heartbreaking. Dogpool, I'm so sorry, boy," Saby said, dropping down to his knees and engulfing the dog in a hug. "It's okay, buddy, you found them. You're not alone anymore." Dogpool pressed himself against Saby, seeking comfort. Saby held him tight, muttering words of solace and promises of better days. They sat there for a while, a silent scene of shared grief amidst the ruins. The last bit of daylight faded, painting the sky in shades of purple and orange. Saby knew they couldn't stay, but they weren't leaving empty-handed. He carefully picked up a few small pieces of debris from around the skeletons, a way to carry a piece of Dogpool's past with them. Emerging from the gloom, Saby took one last look at the crumbling factory. It wasn't just a creepy building anymore. It was where Dogpool had faced his past and where Saby had discovered a connection deeper than he ever imagined. But honestly, it's still pretty much a super creepy building where for some reason Saby's or Dogpool's entire little doggy family is dead and we don't know why. So still pretty much very creepy abandoned warehouse factory thing. Don't go in there. With Dogpool tucked under his arm, Saby walked towards the neon glow of the city, his heart heavy, but his purpose clear. He was Dogpool's pack leader now, and together they'd navigate the neon jungle, one messy paw print and silly pun at a time. Unless he turns into an alpha dog, Saby, then he's gonna be the pack leader. Alright, so watch out for Dogpool. If there's a point in this series where Dogpool gets neutered, I'm out. I'm out. Saby said chemical reaction. Fade out. End of episode 3. Dude, I'm like vibing on this music right now. Neon Metropolis, Episode 4, Fury Unleashed. Content warning, racism and violence? Saby, are you trying to get me canceled? Like, what am I about to read, bro? Okay. This is a blind reading of a fan fiction that I did not write. That's my disclaimer right now. I don't even know what I'm about to read. Based on the content warning, I am now worried. So, let's see. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Fade in, internal, grocery store, day. Sunlight streams through the automatic doors, illuminating the aisles filled with neatly stacked products. Saby restocks a shelf of cereal, whistling a cheerful tune. Dogpool, ever a shadow, trots playfully between his legs, occasionally snagging a dangling chew toy from a nearby display. A shrill voice cuts through the cheerful melody. A woman with a tightly permed blonde mane and a scowl that could curdle milk marches down the aisle, her designer purse clutched like a weapon. This is Karen, the bane of every retail worker's existence. Alright, I do like where this is going. Overall, I do like it. Karen, sniffing the air. Oh, what is that smell? Did someone spill curry in here again? Saby's smile falters. He recognizes the telltale signs of a brewing Karen encounter. Saby, calmly. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can I help you find something today? Karen ignores him, her eyes scanning the price tags with disdain. Then her face turns in disgust. These prices are outrageous. Are you people trying to price gouge immigrants like yourself? You should be ashamed taking advantage of hard-working Americans. So, is this taking place in America? His voice hardening. Then he lets out. Ma'am, these prices are clearly marked and they apply to everyone who shops here. Karen scoffs. Oh, spare me the lecture, brown boy. You wouldn't know hard work if it bit you in the behind. You're probably just here to leech off the system anyway. Go to your own disgusting country, mud boy. Saby about to burst with anger, then her gaze landing on Dogpool and she lets out in disgust, saying, Ew, what is that mutt doing in here? Are you letting strays roam the aisles now? Dogpool's actually my service animal. He helps me out around the store. Karen scoffs again. Service animal? That thing looks like it crawled out of a sewer. Probably carries all sorts of diseases. Saby clenches his jaw, his patience wearing thin. Brenda helpfully offers a snarkier retort, but he bites it back. Saby, taking a deep breath. Ma'am, prejudice against service animals is illegal. Perhaps you'd like me to direct you to the customer service desk? Karen throws her head back and lets out a shrill, evil laugh. Customer service? Don't you people know who I am? I demand to speak to your manager right now. And get this filthy creature away from me or I'll report you to health code violations. Saby's blood boils. He wants to unleash a trident, a volcano of his own, but professionalism holds him back. Dogpool whimpers, sensing the rising tension. Suddenly, Karen raises a hand, aiming to slap at Dogpool. With a snarl, Dogpool lunges forward, nipping at Karen's purse in a defensive move. Karen shrieks, dropping her purse and flailing her arms in panic. Get it off me! This disgusting beast needs to be put down! You filthy immigrant, get your mutt under control! Ma'am, please. Dogpool was just scared. Karen lunges towards Saby, nails glinting in the harsh fluorescent light. The world seems to slow down for Saby. A primal scream escapes her throat. But before Karen can connect, Dogpool launches himself at her again. This time, he sinks his teeth into her leg, attracting an immense level of pain. Fueled by rage, Karen grabs Dogpool and throws him across the aisle! He collides with a shelf packed with heavy canned goods. The impact sends shockwaves through the shelf, which lets the shelf shake. Yeah, baby, shakes. Yeah, baby, shake. I mean, what? What the heck? What? What? It just threw a puppy against the shelf, and he interjects, he shakes, yeah, baby, shakes. Oh man, I am crying, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. John said, I think you might need to delete the stream afterward. I think YouTube might delete the stream for me. And the whole channel. Oh. Oh. That tickled me. I just lost it, dude. Okay. Results in it losing its balance and everything, including the shelf, falls over the Q fluff. No, Dogpool! Saby, if you kill Dogpool as a puppy, Dogpool! Yells Saby. Saby's scream rips through the air as he lunges towards Dogpool, a desperate attempt to shield him from the avalanche of falling cans, but there was not much time. In life, if you want to save someone, you cannot. No matter how fast you react, the life has its ways. Then the scene fades to black. My God! Did you just kill Dogpool? Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. This whole story just took such a turn, man. I did not see this coming. All right. Let me take a quick break. Gonna grab a little snack. Check on the Crimson kids. I'll BRB. Good time to take a restroom break and grab your own drinks and snacks as well. BRB. All right, Crimson Knights, I'm back. Saby said, to everyone in chat who's worried about Dogpool, the cute pup, he's absolutely fine in this episode. For now. Okay, where are we? Let's keep going here. Fades to black, then fades in. Aftermath. Content warning, animal injury. Yeah, I think that content warning's already too late. So he's like, don't worry, everybody. He's completely fine in this episode. And then immediately it's like, content warning, animal injury. Oh my goodness, ma'am. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to hold it together here. External grocery store parking lot, continuous. The world devolves into chaos. A torrential downpour erupts, transforming the neon-lit cityscape into a blurred canvas of glistening streets and shimmering RTX reflections. A blinding flash of lightning illuminates the scene. Saby holds softly and tightly Dogpool in his arms, his face a mask of stark terror and raw desperation. The boundless energy that normally defines Dogpool is replaced by a chilling stillness. He whimpers, once playful, are now weak and intermittent. His whimpers, once playful, are now weak and intermittent, a haunting counterpoint to the storm's fury. Karen sprawls on the wet asphalt, clutching her injured leg, her screams swallowed by the downpour. Saby pays her no mind. His entire focus is on Dogpool. His heart a frantic drumbeat against his ribs. A sickening warmth seeps through his shirt. Dogpool's blood? Panic threatens to consume him, a cold knot tightening in his stomach. He needs to get Dogpool to a vet, immediately. But a strangled groan from a nearby engine shatters any hope of a quick exit. A line of cars extends as far as the eye can see, the headlights casting an eerie glow on the flooded streets. Traffic grinds to a halt, paralyzed by the sudden deluge and a sparking power line twisting across the intersection several blocks away. What are the odds? No, Saby says in an emotional rush, his voice barely audible over the howling wind. No, no, no. He can't let the traffic be the obstacle. Dogpool needs medical attention, every passing second crucial. With a surge of adrenaline, Saby sprints into the storm. The icy rain stings his face, blending with the tears that blur his vision. Each breath feels like a battle, his lungs burning with exertion, but he pushes on, fueled by a desperate hope that flickers precariously within him. Another flash of lightning momentarily paints the scene in stark white. Saby catches a glimpse of his reflection in a shop window, a haggard figure drenched to the bone, his face etched with anguish. Yet his eyes, despite the rain's interference, hold an unwavering determination. Hold on, boy, Saby says to Dogpool, his voice dimming. Weaker, but with full emotions. Just a little longer. We'll get there. We have to. Hold on. Oh, wait. I just read that. Dogpool lets out a faint whimper, a heartbreaking sound that pierces Saby's already frayed soul. He tightens his grip on the small dog, a silent vow forming in his heart to never let go. The rain continues its relentless assault, but Saby runs on, fueled by love and a fading hope that might be the only thing keeping Dogpool alive. Crimson, please watch this video. I created for more and making the scene more alive. I used Time OST remix from Inception movie. The remix is Cyber Design remix. I seriously hope it's not copyright stuff, otherwise it'll ruin the mood. It sounds like it is copyright. But maybe I can watch it with no sound? this not working now? Come on. Why is this not working now? As Saby races through the storm, his heart pounding in his chest, we can almost hear the echoes of these beautiful and heartbreaking quotes. The bond between a human and a dog is as ancient as civilization itself. We provided them with safety and companionship, and they, in turn, showered us with unconditional love. Milan Kundera. Dogs leave paw prints on our hearts forever, which will never fade out. Saby. A timeless quote from Saby. Sometimes you don't realize how much you love a place until you leave it. Sometimes you don't realize how much you love someone until they're gone. Frederick Bachman, A Man Called Ove. It is not the length of life, but the depth of life. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The icy rain continues its relentless assault, each drop a tiny hammer against Saby's exposed skin. His breaths come in ragged gasps, his lungs burning with every desperate pool of air. Sweat, rainwater, and tears mingle on his face, blurring the neon glow of the city into a canvas of distorted colors. Almost there, buddy, he said, his voice barely a whisper. He couldn't give up now, not when his furry best friend was in pain. Suddenly, his foot met something unforgiving. A yelp escaped his lips as a jolt of pain shot up his ankle. Seriously, he groaned, a humorless anger bubbling up. Bad timing much? But the pain was a mere annoyance compared to the whimper against his chest. Dogpool, usually a ball of boundless energy, was barely a candle. Saby squinted through the rain, his vision blurring. The vet clinic, a glowing beacon of hope, was just down the street. Closer, much closer. It's like a bird chasing the sun. He reached the vet. Fade in. Internal veterinary clinic exam room. Continuous. The exam room looks straight out of a bad sci-fi flick. All sterile white and way too many harsh lights. Saby slumped on the metal table, feeling like a rag doll after a spin cycle. Dogpool. Whoa. Dogpool, usually bouncing with energy, lay limp beside him, a worrying stillness replacing his usual happy wiggles. Sleep, a cruel tease, flitted just out of reach, replaced by the relentless ticking of the clock and every creak of the door sounding like a potential Doom soundtrack. Finally, the door swung open, revealing Dr. Reyes. Her usual sunny smile was traded in for a frown that could rival a storm cloud. Saby knew what was coming before she even spoke. "All right, Saby," she started, a voice gentle but carrying the weight of a giant bummer. "We did everything we could, okay? Patched Dogpool up, stopped the bleeding, but..." Her voice trailed off, leaving a suffocating silence in its wake. Saby's heart did a triple lutz in his chest, squeezing the air out of his lungs. Dogpool, sensing his distress, let out a whimper, a sad echo of his usual enthusiastic barks. That fight with the lady and all that rain, it just wasn't ideal for him, Dr. Reyes continued, her voice catching. He didn't make it. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. The sterile room started spinning, and those harsh lights blurred with tears. He desperately tried to blink back. A strangled sob escaped his throat, raw and primal. Everything faded into a muffled roar. No! Oh wait, where's the book? That's weird. Oh, there we go. Okay. Dr. Ray's words barely registering. Saby rushed and clutched Dogpool tighter, burying his face in the soft, gentle fur. The warmth that had always been there was gone, replaced by a chilling emptiness. The silence was deafening, punctuated only by Saby's ragged breaths. So, what the heck? Is Dogpool dead in this book already as a puppy who got thrown against a shelf by a Karen? How? Saby's like, don't worry, just keep reading. He's totally fine, totally fine. And by that, he's fine because he's dead. Cannot feel anything or experience anything. Totally fine. He's doing great, really. Grief, a tidal wave of it crashed over him. Memories flooded his mind. Stolen socks, park zoomies, Dogpool's goofy grin after a long day. The thought of facing the neon-lit streets, the bustling grocery aisles, all without his furry shadow by his side was unbearable. Suddenly, a primal urge to argue with death itself took hold. No! No way, this cannot be, you can't leave me, no! Saby yelled, his voice cracking with disbelief. This can't be it! We fought too hard for this, ran like crazy through the storm, you gotta be kidding me! Dogpool and I, we're a team, remember? Our bond is stronger than some wimpy heart monitor flatlining. He shook Dogpool's limp form, desperation lacing his words. For a moment, nothing. Then a faint blimp on the machine beside them. It flickered once, twice, then settled into a steady rhythm. Dr. Reyes, who'd been frozen in shock, sprang into action. He's alive! She exclaimed, rushing to Dogpool's side. Years of training kicked in as she started treatment, a whirlwind of activity that Saby could only watch through blurry eyes. He slunk back onto the metal table, overwhelmed. Tears streamed down his face, a mix of grief and disbelief. See, Dogpool, he whispered, voice hoarse. Our connection, it's... He couldn't finish the sentence. Words felt useless right now, but the message hung heavy in the air. Their bond, forged in love and loyalty, had somehow defied the odds. Maybe just for a moment, but it felt like a lifetime. Fade out. All right, Saby, you dodged one there. And apparently the lesson is if, you know, someone or something in your life has died, what you have to do is just shake it really hard and angrily, and then maybe its heart will start beating again. I think that's the lesson. Saby, you are cracking me up tonight, man. I can't with this. Movies always have those EKG machines or whatever. Is it EKG? No, EKG is the heart monitor. What am I thinking of? Defibrillator. AED. Ugh. It's good though, Saby, but there's the funny parts are really getting me. So, it's all good. All right, internal veterinary clinic, patient room, morning. The morning sunlight filtered through thin curtains painted the room in a soft glow. Saby stirred, a groan escaping his lips. His eyelids fluttered open one at a time, then slammed shut again, the remnants of exhaustion weighing on him. A faint warmth enveloped him, a sensation that lingered even as his consciousness started to return. He finally managed to crack open his right eye, the room slowly coming into focus. White walls, sterile machinery, the unmistakable sights of a hospital room, but what was that warmth he felt earlier? It wasn't the coldness of the table he remembered collapsing on. Then he saw it. A soft blue blanket lay on him, tucked in neatly at the edges. It held a faint scent of lavender, a soothing aroma that seemed to ease the tension in his muscles. Saby's mind raced, trying to piece together the fragmented memories of the night before. The storm, Dogpool, Dr. Ray's, and then nothing. What about Karen? You didn't mention her. His hand brushed against a crumpled piece of paper tucked under the blanket. Curiosity piqued, he reached for it, slowly unfolding the note. On it, written in a familiar, neat handwriting, were just a few words. Be well, Saby, and I'm sorry. Madison. A jolt of understanding shot through him. The warmth of the blanket, the lingering scent, the apology, it all pointed to one person, Madison. Well, it says Madison. The note literally says Madison. So yeah, it definitely points to her. A tired smile curved his lips. Thank you, Madison, he whispered, the words a silent acknowledgement of her unspoken kindness. Despite everything, Madison had been there, a silent comfort in the face of his grief. Maybe she didn't understand the depth of his bond with Dogpool, but her presence spoke volumes. Now the most important part remained, finding out if Dogpool had pulled through as well. With gluode fuel, Saby pushed himself up, ignoring the groan of protest from his sore muscles. He needed answers, and Dogpool needed him. He wouldn't let the pup face this alone. The door slowly opened, and Dr. Ray's entered, a hopeful smile on her face. Relief washed over Saby, a tidal wave that nearly knocked him off balance. Before he could even ask, Dr. Ray's spoke with a voice of warmth and reassurance. He's awake, Saby, and doing much better than we could have hoped. Seems like your little friend is a fighter, just like you. Saby's heart overjoyed. A joyous laughter bubbled up from his chest, a stark contrast to the despair of just a few hours ago. Can I see him? Dr. Ray smiled again. Absolutely. A choked sob escaped Saby's lips as he entered and let out, Dogpool? At the sound of his voice, Dogpool's tail thumped a little faster. A weak whine escaped his throat, barely audible, but full of love and desperate hope. Saby knew that whine. It was the whine that always said, hey buddy, I'm here and I need you. Saby's heart overflowed with a borderless protective love. Even in this weakened state, Dogpool was his fighter, the one who had defied the odds, just like Saby had defied his own despair the night before. They'd done it together just like they always did. Now, all they needed was a little time to heal, to mend, and to face the neon-lit streets once again, side by side. For whatever reason, this whole story, I guess because of the Neon City, is making me want to play Starfield. This is making me want to play Starfield. External veterinary clinic, morning. The morning sun casts a golden glow over the bustling city street, painting the world in an optimistic light. Saby emerged from the veterinary clinic, a spring in his step lighter than a helium balloon. Beside him, a much livelier dogpole trotted along, tail wagging a happy rhythm against the pavement. The ordeal had been rough, but they were finally healthy and whole, a testament to their unbreakable bond. Saby reached into his pocket, a grateful smile playing on his lips. He'd thank Madison later, but for now, all he wanted was to soak up the sunshine with his furry friend. Just then, a loud caw shattered the peaceful morning. A crow perched on the awning of a nearby pet store, aimed with impressive accuracy. With a sickening plop, a glob of crow poop landed right on Saby's freshly washed hair. Saby stared at the offending mess in disbelief. "Seriously, dude?" He sputtered, looking up at the crow, who cawed triumphantly and took flight. "Couldn't you have gone for like a trash can or something?" The crow circled back, cawing again, this time with a voice that crackled through hidden speakers installed on the awning. "More like trash can found you, garbage boy," the voice squawked, laced with a sardonic amusement. "Maybe next time wear a helmet made of garbage bags. It'd be more fitting for your fashion sense." Saby gaped at the crow, momentarily speechless. Across the street, a holographic display flickered to life above the entrance to the pet store. It depicted a sleek black cat with piercing green eyes, a mischievous grin plastered on its face. Brenda, VO. "Well, well, well, looks like someone brought their sunshine back from the doghouse. Although, judging by that accessory, maybe the sunshine should have stayed a little longer." Saby groaned, running a hand through his now contaminated hair. "Ugh, why would you run a hand through it?" "Thanks for the warm welcome, Brenda," he muttered. "See, this is exactly why I don't trust birds." This is exactly why I don't trust birds. Oh, gosh. They're basically feathered bullies with perfect aim and access to high-tech audio equipment. Brenda, "You and Morning, Saby. It's a never-ending love story. Besides, the little crow poop's nothing compared to the horrors that mutt of yours probably tracked into your apartment." Dogpool, oblivious to Brenda's barbs, sat down and gave the holographic cat a wide, goofy grin. The cat's grin faltered for a moment, then it flickered out of existence. Brenda said, "Whatever, just keep that creature away from my precious felines." This is why I don't trust birds. Saby grinned, used to Brenda's gruff exterior. He knelt down and scratched Dogpool behind the ears. "Don't worry, buddy," he whispered. "A little crow poop can't dim our shine." Oh. Dogpool barked in agreement, his tail wagging furiously. Saby straightened back up, a glowy glint in his eyes. "Oh wait, no, that's crow poop." I added that. Okay. He glanced at the veterinary clinic, then back at the pet store, a plan formulating in his mind. Maybe, just maybe, it was time to return the favor with a little morning sunshine of his own. Is he gonna poop on the birds? Where is this going? To Saby's. Oh man. Bird's the word, right, Saby? Okay. Fade out. End of episode 4. Oh man, I'm having way too much fun right now. Neon Metropolis, Episode 5, New Dawn awaits. Fade in. Internal, Saby's apartment, bedroom, morning. Ah yes, sunlight. A persistent reminder that it was definitely not Friday night with pizzas and streamed through the window and landed directly on Saby's face. A digital clock on the nightstand mocked him with a cruel red glow. 7 a.m. Alarm clock. Wake up, sleepy Snorlax. You've been asleep a long time from your life. Saby groaned, his voice a low, tortured sound that echoed through the messy room. Mismatched socks, once carefully paired the night before, now lay scattered like confetti. Pillows, once neat and tidy, were now crumpled in a silent rebellion. In the center of it all, a rumpled figure emerged from a tangled mess of blankets. Saby, his hair a bird's nest and a faint green smudge, a dubious souvenir from yesterday's avian encounter adorning his forehead. Dude, what? He didn't take a shower? What is... he mumbled. What dumpster fire of a dream did I crawl out of? He sat up gingerly, wincing as his hand touched the green smudge. Of course, he muttered, the crow's parting gift resurfacing in his memory. Like, what? He just went straight to bed? He didn't take a shower or wash his face? Like, what? Sounds good, Cora. I hope you enjoyed the part of the stream that you were able to join for. Have a great night. And I'll be back streaming tomorrow. We'll be doing Baldur's Gate 3 some more tomorrow. Have a great night, Cora. Thanks for hanging out. A happy bark jolted him out of his self-pity. Dogpool, sporting a vibrant red bandana, a gift from Brenda, believe it or not, bounded onto the bed. How did an AI give the puppy a bandana? Tail wagging furiously, a bright red rubber ball, his prized possession, clamped firmly in his teeth. Morning, buddy, Saby croaked, accepting the offering with a weak smile. Let's just hope today's a little less eventful than yesterday, like less bird poop bomb and a little more sunshine and pancakes. Internal, grocery store, day. Later that morning, Saby and Dogpool were back in their usual domain, navigating the labyrinthian aisles of the local megastore. Dogpool, looking dapper in his new bandana, trotted happily by Saby's side. Suddenly, two voices cut through the air like fingernails on a chalkboard. Well, 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 if it isn't the walking disaster, one sneered. Saby didn't need to turn to recognize Terry and Chad, the resident high school bullies. Yeah, quite the sight, Chad chimed in, his voice dripping with mock concern. Seems the veterinary visit didn't quite erase all the damage. Saby turned slowly, a cool composure replacing his initial irritation. Today, he wasn't in the mood for their usual juvenile antics. Actually, the vet commended my rapid recovery, he replied, raising an eyebrow, pointed at the remnants of crow poop on his forehead. Apparently, the green complements my newfound sense of resilience.
Welcome to the Crimson Knights.
10 likes on the stream.
Thank you, Maddie, for 2 months as a Crimson Knight on the channel. I'm pretty sure that they were gifted memberships, if I'm not mistaken. But she says 10 likes on the stream. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for liking the stream. And thank you, Maddie, for being such an important part of the Crimson Knights. And welcome. She said, anybody fall asleep, we had to fly to New York, then to Oklahoma City, but we got here at least. Glad you had good travels, Maddie. And welcome. We're currently reading A Soul's Journey of Emotions, the newest series written by Sabyasachi. As a warning, you seem to be a significant part of this story. Or, not you, but a character based on you, I guess. Terry and Chad exchanged confused glances. The confident Saby was a rare breed, and it left them flustered. Saby continued, his voice laced with amusement. Speaking of things in need of an upgrade, maybe you two should consider a personality transplant. That whole moronic bully routine, so last decade. Terry sputtered, his bravado faltering. Chad, ever the more cowardly of the two, mumbled something about getting to gym class and scurried away, Terry trailing behind him like a kicked puppy. Terry sputtered, his bravado faltering like a toddler trying to parallel park a clown car. That's good too. Chad, ever the more cowardly of the two, mumbled something about having better things to do and scurried away. Terry, trailing behind him like a kicked puppy with a bad case of social anxiety. Saby laughed at them going, feeling a surge of satisfaction that rivaled winning the lottery, minus the actual money part. Perhaps facing down a poop-dropping crow had boosted his confidence more than he anticipated. Just then, a familiar voice rang out, cutting through the store's white noise like a chainsaw through a birthday cake. Nice one, Sabs. You told those fashion challenge dorks off good. Saby looked up to see Madison walking down the aisle, her hair pulled back in a messy bun, and a smile radiating from her face like a sunrise over Miami. Today, she wore a casual pair of jeans and a t-shirt that showcased her toned arms, a stark contrast to the sleek jumpsuit he'd envisioned. Saby's smile widened, spreading across his face like butter on warm toast. Hello, Madison, he replied, a nervous flutter in his stomach that felt suspiciously like a flock of butterflies auditioning for the Olympics. Thanks, although Fashion Challenge dorks is a little generous for those two clowns. Madison laughed, a charming sound that warmed him from the inside. It was like a symphony compared to the screeching hyena laugh he usually imagined girls doing. So, she said, leaning closer, how about we ditch the groceries and grab some actual sunshine? These aisles are giving me claustrophobia. Saby's heart skipped a beat, faster than a penguin on roller skates. You mean, a date? Madison grinned. Then Madison laughed, a sound that tinkled like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. Sure, why not? Think you can handle my company? Oh, gosh. Hopefully this is okay with Maddie. Alright, she says I know already. Saby puffed out his chest, a playful grin on his face. Absolutely consider it on. DNL, welcome to the stream, man. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Maddie said everything's fine with me. Okay. Well, always, you know, fan fiction and Crimson Knight themes, stories are always great, but we, you know, definitely want to be extra sure that everyone's comfortable with the stories that are being told and, you know, don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable or anything like that. So, you know, fun to be featured in these books, but if there's anything like that, please feel free to let me know. You know, you can DM me if, you know, whatever, if anything like that ever comes up. Just want to say that, just so it's, you know, clear. All right. Suddenly, a voice can be heard over the store's PA system, shattering the lighthearted moment. Attention all shoppers. There have been reports of minor tremors in the northwest sector of the city. Please remain calm and follow the instructions of store personnel. The announcement was immediately followed by Brenda's sardonic voice echoing through the store. Minor tremors, you say? Sounds more like Saby causing a scene again. Now you've gone and scared the pigeons. Maybe they finally realized your hair looked like a malfunctioning chia pet. Saby winced, the playful grin replaced by a sheepish smile. Well, this date just got a whole lot more interesting, he muttered. Madison, however, burst into laughter. Don't worry, Saby, she said, wiping a tear from her eye. Even an earthquake can't stop a good date. I was just gonna say. What was I just gonna say? Oh. I think I was going to say that some of these scenes are also reminding me a bit of Final Fantasy VII. Just with the city sectors and stuff like that, tremors around the city and whatnot. External, city rooftop, night. The night sky was a canvas splashed with a million glittering stars, a stark contrast to the neon-drenched streets below. Saby and Madison sat at a small table on the top VIP floor overlooking the bustling cityscape. Fairy lights twinkled overhead, casting a warm glow on their faces. Earlier, after the earthquake announcement turned out to be a malfunctioning vending machine dispensing free candy bars, courtesy of Brenda, of course, they decided to ditch the grocery store and find a more romantic setting. Luckily, Madison knew just the place, a hidden rooftop restaurant tucked away in a forgotten corner of the city. The restaurant was a charming little gem filled with potted plants and fairy neon lights. It was Madison's favorite spot, a place she discovered during her time as a freelance photographer, capturing the hidden beauty of Neon Metropolis. As they dined on delicious food, turns out this was also Madison's favorite restaurant, conversation flowed effortlessly. They talked about everything and nothing. Their dreams, their fears, their love for the city, despite its flaws. Saby learned that Madison, beneath her cool exterior, was passionate about environmental causes and dreamed of opening a rooftop garden cafe with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. Saby, emboldened by the romantic atmosphere and a few glasses of sparkling wine, which, surprisingly, didn't taste like battery acid, found himself captivated by her. He told her about his dream of becoming a writer, a secret he'd never shared with anyone else. As the night deepened, the city lights twinkled below like a million scattered diamonds. The music was soft, the conversation even softer. With a deep breath, Saby reached across the table and took Madison's hand. Her touch sent a jolt through him, a spark of something new and exciting. "This," he said, his voice a low whisper like, "has been the best night I've had in a long time." Madison smiled, her eyes sparkling like the city lights below. "Me too, Saby," she whispered. Just then, a mischievous glint entered her eyes. "So," she said, leaning in closer, "how about we make it a night to remember?" Saby's heart hammered in his chest. "What do you have in mind?" Madison's smile widened. "Follow me," she said, pulling him to his feet. They walked to the edge of the rooftop, overlooking the dazzling cityscape. Saby's breath caught in his throat as he saw what she had planned. A small telescope stood on a tripod, pointed towards the star-studded sky. "Let's go stargazing, Saby," Madison said, her voice filled with excitement. "The view from here is incredible." Saby grinned, a feeling of pure happiness washing over him. As they peered through the telescope, hand in hand, Saby knew this was just the beginning of something special. Internal, Saby's apartment, night, simultaneously. Meanwhile, back at Saby's apartment, a different kind of date was unfolding. Dogpool, left behind with the promise of a juicy bone, had other plans. He nosed open a drawer, a feat that would have baffled Saby, and emerged triumphantly with a package of hot dogs, a leftover from their grocery shopping adventure. With a happy bark, he trotted over to the window and gazed longingly at the city below. Suddenly, a flash of lightning. As they peered through the telescope, a distant rumble echoed across the city. A flash of lightning ripped through the sky, turning the night into a blinding flashbulb for a second. Madison yelped, grabbing Saby's arm like a scared kitten. Saby's heart did a happy little backflip at her touch. He saw the city lights reflected in her wide eyes, usually so confident, now filled with a hint of fear. It sparked a protective streak, a mile wide. "Whoa, hey there," he said, his voice calm and steady over the fading thunder. "Just some summer lightning, Mads. More flash than bang." He looked into her eyes, the fear slowly replaced by a playful glint. "Besides," he added with a smirk, "you're with the city's resident lightning rod now, remember?" Madison huffed out a laugh, the tension leaving her shoulders. Yeah, real smooth, Saby," but there was a smile tugging at her lips. "Sometimes," Saby continued, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, "even the brightest neon signs can be a little blinding at night." He reached out, his fingers brushing against hers. The spark from before came rushing back, a jolt of electricity that made them both catch their breath. "That's why we have each other," he said, a playful wink in his eye, "to navigate the darkness together." Without another word, Saby pulled Madison closer, his arms a comforting haven. She melted into him, the city lights blurring into a twinkling backdrop. They stood there in comfortable silence, the distant rumble of thunder a faint echo to the pounding of their hearts. Saby looked up at the sky, the storm finally clearing way to reveal a million twinkling stars. He took a deep breath, the cool night air carrying the sweet scent of jasmine from a nearby rooftop garden. In that moment, with the city's energy pulsing below and the stars sparkling above, Saby held Madison close, feeling a connection bloom, a future brighter than any neon skyline. "Thanks, Sobs," Madison said, her voice muffled against his chest, "for being my personal lightning rod." Saby smiled, nuzzling her hair. "Always, Mads, always." They stayed there, wrapped in each other's arms. The city lights a backdrop for a new beginning, a story written in the constellations and sealed with a silent promise whispered under a starlit sky. The neon jungle throbbed below, but for Saby and Madison, the universe existed only in the space they shared, a universe filled with the promise of sunshine, laughter, and maybe, just maybe, a few more adventures, with or without lightning. Scene: rooftop paradise, night. Saby, rocking a shirt and screamed, "2 sizes too small, thanks, overconfidence," leaned against the railing, pointed at a random cluster of lights below. "See that disco ball over there, Mads? That's where they filmed the annual Neon Squid Race. Crazy stuff, right?" A beat of silence followed, then a confused frown creased Madison's brow. "Saby," she started cautiously, "I'm pretty sure that's just a fancy office building." Suddenly, a sound like a runaway jet engine filled the air. Saby and Madison looked up just in time to see a blur of black feathers hurtling towards them. Splat! A sickening noise echoed through the night, followed by the unmistakable plop of avian disapproval. Saby gingerly reached up and touched his head. His fingers came back stained a vibrant green. He stared at the offending goop, his face contorting in a hilarious mix of disbelief and existential dread. "Dude, seriously?" he exclaimed, his voice a potent cocktail of outrage and despair. He whipped around, searching for the culprit. There, perched on the edge of a nearby flower pot, sat a crow. It cocked its head, regarding Saby with an air of smug amusement. Crow, casual yet dripping with sarcasm. "Hey, shiny hair, new DIY hairstyle, looking interesting." Saby sputtered, his carefully curated cool crumbling faster than a stale croissant. "You had to ruin the moment, didn't you, you feathery fashion critic?" The crow burst into a series of loud caws that sounded like laughter. Crow, cowing, aka saying, "Ruin the moment? Nah, bro. I just upgraded your look. You should totally rock that emerald green all night. Maybe even add some feathers for a complete disaster cheek ensemble." Saby's cheeks burned with a mix of embarrassment and a simmering urge to launch the crow into the neon abyss below. You're the worst wingman a guy could ask for," he bellowed. The crow ruffled his feathers with a casual shrug. Crow, feigning surprise. Feigning almost sounds like freaking, like friking? Feigning almost sounds like friking, right? I don't know what that means. "Wingman? Nah, man, I'm just here for the free entertainment, and honestly, your current outfit, not exactly award-winning." It spread its wings and flapped them slowly, a theatrical sigh escaping its beak. The crow, with a flourish. "Maybe next time, consider a cape made out of, like, trash bags? It would really tie the whole walking disaster vibe together, you know?" Saby glared at the crow, his fist clenched at his sides. But before he could unleash a torrent of eloquent insults, a melodious laugh erupted from Madison. Tears streamed down her face as she doubled over and clutched her stomach. Saby, despite his humiliation, couldn't help but smile. Maybe the crow wasn't so bad after all. It certainly knew how to make an entrance, and an immaculate exit, hopefully. How is everybody doing out there, Crimson Knights?
Welcome to the Crimson Knights.
Hello Crimson. Wow, 5 months. What an honor and what a privilege.
Wow, Leah,
for me
thank
to
you
be a
so
part
much
of your
for
channel.
5
Thanks
months
for
as a
having me.
Crimson Lord. She says, "Hello, Crimson. Wow, 5 months. What an honor and what a privilege for me to be a part of your channel. Thank you for having me." No, thank you, Leah. Thank you for being a Crimson Lord for 5 months. Paid member, absolutely. Get some Crimson Moons in the chat for Maddie. For Leah, she's absolutely amazing. Maddie also is has been a member for 2 months, but I think that those were gifted memberships. So Leah is a true paid member of the channel as a Crimson Lord, which is a top tier member. Thank you so much, Leah. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. We all love you so much, and just really grateful for you being here. Again, hope that you and your loved ones are safe tonight with all the weather stuff going on around you. Thank you, Leah, for 5 months over on YouTube. By the way, Leah, did you ever tell me what you wanted your sub night to be? Because you redeemed it, I guess not that long ago. You redeemed it like a week ago or something, but I don't think you told me what you want it to be. So let me know whenever you know. I'll hold on to it, of course, but whenever you're ready, let me know. All right, scene, Possum Patisserie Night. Soft 80s jazz music filled the air as Dogpool, impeccably dressed in a miniature tuxedo sourced from a very generous donation box, waited patiently at a corner table. A single rose, meticulously chosen from a nearby park, apologies to the unsuspecting gardener, stood in a crystal vase, adding a touch of elegance to the setting. His tail thumped a steady rhythm against the plush rug, the gentle clinking of china and playful canine chatter the only sounds breaking the peaceful ambiance. Moments later, a vision in flowing white fur glided towards the table. Dixie, a stunning Saluki with amber eyes and a regal air, approached with a graceful gait. Her diamond collar glittered in the warm glow of the bakery's neon lights. "Well, Dogpool," she purred, her voice like a melodic whisper to him. "Isn't this just delightful? Such a charming little spot." Dogpool, ever the gentleman, rose to his full height, or at least as close as his stubby legs would allow, with a flourish. "The pleasure's all mine, milady," he replied, his voice surprisingly deep and smooth. Thanks to a recent discovery and discarded voice modulator. "May I interest you in a delightful aroma from that exquisite croissant I saw you eyeing earlier?" Dixie chuckled, a delightful sound that tinkled like bells on a gentle breeze. Such a charmer, she teased, taking a seat opposite him on the plush cushion. "But croissants are simply expected, darling. Perhaps you could offer me a taste of that exclusive bone you managed to acquire." Dogpool, the smooth operator, winked. Well, at least a one-eyed wink at her. "Anything for a beautiful lady like yourself," he said, his tail wagging excitedly. He reached into a miniature paw-sized pooch he'd discovered abandoned in an alley, recycling at its finest, and pulled out a single perfectly polished bone. So, do these dogs just speak English? Or are we getting an interpretation of a dog conversation? What's the situation here? Welcome back, Jeremiah. Welcome back. Dixie took the offering delicately in her mouth, her amber eyes sparkling with amusement. "You know, Dogpool," she said, savoring the bone, "you're quite the catch. Where did you learn such impeccable manners?" Dogpool puffed out his chest, a hint of pride in his bark. "Let's just say," he replied, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, "I've been expanding my horizons lately, learning all about the finer things in life." Dixie raised an eyebrow, a playful smile on her face. "Extracurricular learning, huh? Sounds intriguing." Dogpool leaned closer, his voice dropping even lower. "Art exhibits, attending the symphony, and of course the art of wooing a beautiful Saluki like yourself." Dixie giggled, a sound that filled the air with pure joy. "Well, Dogpool," she said, leaning into him playfully, "I must say your lessons seem to be paying off." The night continued, filled with lively conversation about their escapades in the city, playful chases after rogue napkins that dared to flutter by their table, and the enjoyment of a specially made and surprisingly delicious dog cake, courtesy of the Possum Patisserie's renowned chef. As the moon cast its silvery glow over the bakery window, Dogpool knew this was a night he wouldn't soon forget. He had not only avoided any major disruptions, but he had also managed to charm a stunning Saluki with his newfound sophistication. Perhaps, he thought, with a little self-education and a whole lot of canine cunning, he could navigate this whole dating thing after all. Okay, so Dogpool are having a date and know they're barking, and I translated it this way to have a good perception. Okay. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure. All right, I'm curious to see how many... Is this an actual end here? All right, I think there's 11 more pages. Still a good bit of reading, but I think I will make an effort to actually finish the series. Or finish what's written so far, all right? I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm starting to get a little bit sleepy here, but I'm trying to wake up. I drank some G Fuel. I'm drinking water, and gonna make an effort to get through all of what is written tonight. All right. Dixie's amber eyes sparkled with delight as Dogpool leaned in for a gentlemanly, surprisingly tender kiss. The baker's ambiance faded away, replaced by a world of soft music and the gentle sway of their bodies. That was truly delightful, Dogpool, Dixie said with a playful smile. We should certainly arrange a follow-up engagement sometime soon. Dogpool, his tail wagging a happy rhythm against the floor, could only manage a charming grin and a series of enthusiastic barks. Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it for the world. After a final farewell pat on Dixie's paw, Dogpool strutted out of the Possum Patisserie with an air of quiet confidence. He hadn't only navigated the date without causing any major disruptions, but he'd also managed to impress a beautiful Saluki with his newfound sophistication. Oh, didn't we just read this? I don't know. A few days later, Saby and Madison were having a casual meeting on the rooftop, enjoying coffee and discussing their recent experiences. Madison chuckled as she recounted the incident with the crow. Honestly, Saby, she said with a light laugh, that bird has the most unfortunate timing, but on the bright side, it certainly provided a memorable anecdote, wouldn't you agree? Saby chuckled, the memory still fresh. Indeed, you could say that. Perhaps for our next soiree, we should consider a more avian-unfriendly location. Unless, of course, you'd welcome a repeat performance from Mr. Saby Jackson, Madison teased, swatting playfully at the air where a crow had just landed on the railing. The crow, as if on cue, cawed once in a sharp, almost mocking tone and took off with a dramatic flap of its wings. Saby savored his coffee, the morning breeze ruffling his fur as he surveyed the city awakening below. All right, Mads, he said, wiping his muzzle with a paw. Fess up. Anything exciting happened yesterday? Madison, perched nonchalantly beside him, offered a sly grin. Then, with a flourish that would make a magician jealous, she reached. Well, let's just say not for her leash, not from her, spawned a card that's beyond words. It shimmered in the sunlight before fluttering down to land gracefully at Saby's paws. The card itself was enough to make him do a spit take. A stylized moon icon print adorned the center, emblazoned with the words Moon Incorporated, Crimson Knights. The crimson hue screamed exclusivity, and the inscription hinted at a level of access that made Saby cough out a surprise sputter. Kind of like the access that Leah and other Crimson Lords get here on the channel, in the Discord especially, you know, just by being joined members. Kind of like that exclusive VIP Crimson access. Whoa, hold on, chicken nugget minute, he sputtered, wiping coffee off his fur with a flustered paw. What in the world's that, and where did you... He trailed off, momentarily embarrassed by the display, especially considering the rather unorthodox location from which Madison retrieved the card. Ahem. Madison's playful grin widened. Oh, this little number, she said, her voice dripping with a hint of saucy amusement. Let's just say it fell into my, possession. Now, the real question is, she leaned forward, her eyes sparkling, are you interested? Saby, regaining his composure somewhat, snatched the card and examined it with a newfound seriousness. Interested? More like flabbergasted. What is Moon Incorporated, and how did you score a Crimson Knights card? It sounds like some secret Illuminati organization or something. Madison smiled, a hint of mystery lingering in her eyes. Let's just say Mune deals in cutting-edge advancements for canines, she said, her voice taking on a conspiratorial whisper. It's not your average dog park, that's for sure. Getting in is like winning the canine lottery, with rumors swirling about groundbreaking tech and a boss so intimidating he can make a Doberman whimper. Saby's ears perked up. A challenge, a secret organization, and the chance to be part of something groundbreaking. This was right up his alley. So, what do I have to do to get involved? Is there some initiation ritual involving retrieving a bone from the bottom of the Ganges? Madison's smile turned enigmatic. There's an application process, of course, she said, the details remaining tantalizingly vague. Logic puzzles that'll tie your tail in knots, trivia that'll stump even the most seasoned show dog, the whole gamut. But if you're up for the challenge, the Crimson Knights card might just be your golden, or I mean crimson ticket to the moon. Saby grinned, his competitive spirit ignited. Challenge accepted, he declared, his gaze fixed on the crimson card in his paw. Just tell me where to sign up. Mune Incorporated, huh? Sounds like a place where a dog with my skills could really make a difference. So I'm confused now. Is Saby talking as if he is a dog? I'm confused. Little did he know the Crimson Card and the journey it would lead him on were about to change his life in ways far more profound than he could ever imagine. Blackjet inbound. Excitement crackled through Saby's veins. Mune Incorporated. Cutting-edge tech for canines? This was way cooler than chasing pigeons on the rooftop. He envisions himself in a lab coat, cracking doggy Da Vinci codes with a team of brainiac pups. Suddenly, a loud caw ripped through his daydream. A jet-black crow swooped down, its beady eyes fixated on the card clutched in Saby's hand. Before Saby could yell, "What the heck?" the crow snatched the Crimson Knight's card and perched on a nearby lamppost, looking for all the world like a feathered pirate captain. "Hey!" Saby roared, outraged. "Give that back, you feathered bandit!" The crow, looking like it had just won the lottery of shiny objects, tilted its head and regarded Saby like he was a particularly slow tourist. Then, with a dramatic flourish that would put any magician to shame, let's just say the crow delivered a major olfactory insult right on Saby's head. Wow. Saby yelled in disgust, jumping back and frantically shaking his head like a man caught in a downpour. The crow, meanwhile, cawed with laughter, a harsh, guttural sound that seemed to mock Saby's misfortune. "Seriously?" Saby sputtered. Fur, not that he had any, undoubtedly ruffled his hand, reaching for his now malodorous head. "You interrupted my moment of glory and then..." He touched wildly at his head. "You did what?" The crow didn't even dignify him with a response at first. It simply adjusted its legs, seemingly checking its non-existent manicure. Finally, it looked down at Saby with a single beady eye, then let out a series of sharp caws that seemed to translate to, "Seriously, dude? That plastic gets you into a secret organization? You couldn't solve a Rubik's Cube for beginners, let alone crack their application process with that mush for brains." Saby bristled. "Oh, it's on now, bird brain," he snarled. "We're having another terrible encounter with birds." A glint of playful determination replacing his shock, he charged towards the crow, teeth bared in a decidedly non-threatening mock snarl. The crow, however, remained unfazed. In fact, seemed to relish the challenge, hopping back and forth on the lamppost with a taunting caw. Saby, realizing the futility of chasing a flying menace, stopped mid-charge. He glared at the crow, his brow furrowed. "Fine," he huffed. "Keep your stupid card. I'll get another one. But you just wait, crowface. I'll be working at Mune Incorporated while you're still out here," Saby searched for the right insult, "eating weak old pizza crusts." The crow, as if understanding him perfectly, let out a final, ear-splitting caw that seemed to say, "Mune Incorporated? You? With the attention span of a goldfish and the problem-solving skills of a particularly dense rock? Don't make me laugh. Flightless, featherless fool." Then, with a final mocking glance, it spread its wings and soared off into the vast blue sky. The crow, as if understanding him perfectly, let out a final ear-splitting caw. Then, with a nonchalant flick of its wing, it sent the Crimson Knight's card fluttering back towards Saby. The card smacked him right on the head with a light bonk. Ouch! Saby lets out. This plastic, the crow seemed to call it the amusement. This card is beneath a high-end crow like me. You, my friend, need to aim higher if you want to rub elbows with the elite. Rub feathers. The crow then spread its wings and soared off into the vast blue sky, leaving Saby standing there, fuming, slightly bonked, and clutching the recovered card. He looked up at the disappearing crow and muttered, "Just wait until I get my hands on some of that moon tech. I'll invent a crow-repellent ray gun and a brain-boosting helmet, and then we'll see who's laughing." Hey Moon 13, welcome, welcome, welcome. You have missed about 2 hours of reading Saby's newest series, which is titled A Soul's Journey of Emotions. And there have been some, yes, hilarious parts of the story. But welcome, how's it going, Moon 13? Saby clutched the recovered card, the sting of the crow's insult lingering like a bad smell, which, coincidentally, he still had to deal with. A fiery goal ignited in his eyes. "Just you wait, crow face," he muttered, a fierce grin spreading across his face. "This whole moon thing, it's gonna be a walk in the park compared to what I'm about to unleash on you. Consider it Saby's rooftop rumble." Next time on Neon Metropolis Z, will Saby crack the code to Moon Incorporated? And can he invent a crow-repellent ray gun before the Feathered Fiend returns? Find out in the next episode. Can't think of a title for next episode, maybe in future. Fades out, end of episode 5. Neon Metropolis Z, episode 6, The Regret of Eternal. So is this series actually called Neon Metropolis Z? Is that like the actual name of this series? Or what? The dog calendar instead of treadmill. The morning sun cast a golden glow over Neon Metropolis Park, casting long shadows across the neat lawns. Saby, wearing a bright yellow pool floaty with a giant plastic flamingo, floated peacefully in the dog park pool. Dog pool. Pool of doggos. I don't know what to name it, so yeah. Beside him, his loyal buddy Dogpool, a lively and loving ball of fluff with a fondness for energy, walked happily, occasionally glancing at the entrance in excitement. Suddenly, a familiar figure emerged from the trees. Madison, a sparkling glow in her eyes. Beside her trotted a vision of elegance. Dixie, a sulky and elegant and graceful, elegant dog with a fur the color of polished obsidian. Her amber eyes held a beauty that seemed to match any human's. "Well, well, well," Saby exclaimed, or at least exclaimed as best one could while wearing a pool floaty. "Look who finally decided to show up. Didn't know you had a stunningly beautiful female dog, Mads." He winked, the flamingo precariously tipping to one side. Madison chuckled, a hint of amusement dancing in her eyes. "This is Dixie," she said, scratching the dog behind the ears. "And yes, she's aware of her stunning beauty, thank you very much." Dixie, for her part, regarded the bobbing flamingo with a look of complete disdain. Her amber eyes, usually sparkling with beauty, narrowed in a way that suggested she was silently judging Saby's choice of dressing attire. With a flick of her sleek tail, as if dismissing the entire spectacle, she turned her attention to the pack of pups playing nearby. A hint of a playful glint reappeared in her eyes, and with a graceful stride, she joined the canine chaos, leaving Saby to his inflatable island of love. I guess then Dixie's tail waved in a way that indicated, "Dogpool, come, let's have fun together." Their playful chat was interrupted by a sight that tugged at Saby's heartstrings. Across the park, a young girl sat on a park bench, her head buried in her lap. Beside her, an elderly woman with gentle wrinkles and silver hair held a cane in her trembling hands. Saby watched, a pang of sadness twisting in his gut. Madison, noticing the change in his mood, nudged him gently with her shoulder. "What's wrong, Saby?" she asked softly. Saby sighed, the flamingo momentarily losing its buoyancy. "That little girl, the elderly woman, reminds me of my grandma," he confessed, his voice low. Madison sat beside him, her playful demeanor replaced by warm concern. "Could you tell me about her?" she said gently. Saby took a deep breath, memories flooding back. "She was the kindest person I knew," he began, his voice thick with emotion. "Always had a smile on her face, even when things were tough, but then she got sick." Old age, you know? He looked away, staring at the distant cityscape. Her health took a turn for the worse, and all I wanted to do was be there for her, but... You know... Work. It was this big sale, a huge promotion on the line. I convinced myself it was important, that I was doing it for her future security, so I stayed late at the store, missed her calls, and then his voice cracked. Then it was too late. A tear rolled down Saby's cheek, splashing onto the water with a tiny plop. The last thing she said to me, she wanted me to stay by her side, but I chose work, and I can't forgive myself for that. Never. I will... Madison didn't try to offer empty words of comfort. She simply sat in silence, a comforting presence beside him. After a long moment, she spoke, her voice soft but firm. Saby, she said, work's important, sure, but family, they're irreplaceable. They're the ones who love you no matter what, who are there for you through thick and thin. Don't let work become a cage that traps you from the people who matter most. Saby looked at her, his eyes filled with gratitude. You're right, Mads, he said, a newfound determination creeping into his voice. I won't let that happen again. Family comes first, always. He looked back at the little girl, who was now laughing and chatting with her grandmother. A small smile played on Saby's lips. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't too late to learn from his mistakes. The episode ends with a fade-out as Saby and Madison continue their walk, a newfound understanding blossoming between them. The weight of his past may live with him with a giant hole, but this will never recover. Unless... Neon Metropolis Z, Episode 6, Part 2. No, the episode doesn't dismiss you. I, the author, do. Hey there, droopy dog. Still mourning the floaty, she teased, a playful glint in her eye. Saby groaned. Woof, wait, floaty who? No, Mads, it's Mune Incorporated. That application process. Also, I'm a human, not a dog. Oh no! Maddie. Ahem, anyways. So, Saby, how's the Moon Madness going for you? You know, it's like trying to catch your tail in a whirlwind, but I'm getting there, one paw at a time. I can only imagine. Are you feeling confident about the application process? Saby, well, let's just say I'm as confident as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs, but I've got my lucky collar on, so anything's possible, right? Madison said, that's the spirit. And if you've been practicing those logic puzzles, it means the captcha thingy on Google on are you human or AI thing, so yeah. Saby, oh, you bet. I've been solving them faster than the Greyhound chasing a rabbit. Dogpool even tried to join in, but he ended up just chewing on the pencils. Madison, classic Dogpool. Well, as long as you're making progress, that's all that matters. Saby, absolutely. And hey, if all else fails, I'll just charm my way through the interview with my irresistible puppy eyes. Madison, ha! I'm sure that'll work wonders, but seriously, Saby, I have faith in you. You've got the smarts and spirit to tackle anything Moon throws your way. Aw, thanks, Mads, Saby said. Your confidence in me means a lot to push towards the horizons. And if I do make it into Moon, I'll make sure to bring you along for the ride. Madison. Now that's a journey I wouldn't want to miss. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, slowly but surely, right? Saby, right. But with you by my side, Mads, I know I can handle whatever comes my way. Together, we'll make into Mune Incorporated and show our talents to them. Crow, watching from a tree branch, cackling to itself. Well, 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 what do we have here? Saby, the self-proclaimed canine genius, thinks he's got what it takes for Mune Incorporated? Ha! Let's see what this mutt fares in the real world. A pup with dreams bigger than his bark. When Saby said, Saby, aw, thanks, Mads. Your confidence in me means a lot to push towards the horizons. And if I do make it into Moon, I'll make sure to bring you along for the ride. This line, the crow replying savagely, saying, bring her along for the ride? More like drag her down with your boneheaded schemes. Come on, Saby, you couldn't find your tail with both paws and a map, let alone navigate the complexities of Moon. Your Moon dreams are about as realistic as a flying fish. What was that? Madison, did you hear something? Crow, mockingly. Oh, don't mind me, just a humble crow offering some unsolicited advice to the delusional dog below. Saby, defensively. Hey, who invited you to this conversation, Mr. Featherhead? No, Mr. Feathered Smarty Pants. And hey, watch it, Bird Brain. I'll have you know I'm destined for greatness. Crow, mocking. Oh, destined for greatness, are we? Well, newsflash, buddy. You're more likely to win a howling contest with a mute poodle than make it into Moon. Crow, with a wicked call. Oh, I'm just here for the entertainment, Saby. Watching you stumble through life is better than watching a Netflix show. Madison, chuckling. Saby, don't listen to him. You've got this. Crow mocking. Oh, sure, he's got it all under control, Poodle. Just like a squirrel that has control over a runaway nut. Face it, shiny boy, you're barking up the wrong tree with this moon nonsense. Saby ignoring the crow. Thanks, Mads. I won't let this feathered heckler get to me. I'm gonna ace those moon challenges and prove him wrong. Crow with a final cackle. Suit yourself, but mark my words, Saby. You'll be singing a different tune when Moon sends you packing like yesterday's leftovers. Crow with a cackle. Oh, I can't wait to see this train wreck unfold. New Netflix series is about to begin. Popcorn, anyone? As the heated exchange between Saby and the crow reaches its peak, the crow suddenly flaps its wings and takes off into the distance. With a mocking call that echoes through the park, it flies higher and higher until it's just a tiny speck in the sky. But before it disappears completely, the crow lets out one last triumphant cry, cawing like cow-cow, a sound that's half laughter, half mockery. It's a final taunt, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the crow still reigns supreme, leaving Saby and Madison to watch in stunned silence as the crow disappears into the horizon. Fades out. End of episode 6. Saby says that grandpa's story I put as a reminder, never choose work first before family. Moon said, horrible, I want sugar, I'm desperate for donuts. Making pudding and brownies out of avocados and bananas just don't cut it. Yeah, that doesn't really sound that good. I just like brownies right out of the box. Everyone loves Crow, says Crow is the goat. Crow is not a goat. Crow is, to my understanding, a crow. A bird. Not a goat. Use Crimson's referral code for $5 off G Fuel. $5 off G Fuel. All right. That was great. Look, that was like the right amount of writing for us to actually read all of it in one stream. That was the perfect amount of writing for us to read it all in one stream. 2.5 hours. That's about as much as I really can read before I'm starting to lose my voice and kind of just get tired. So that was perfect amount of writing. I really loved. I mean, overall, I liked this whole series a lot, Saby. I'm enjoying it a lot. I really loved how this series started. Seemed to be a little bit based on your own life. You know, your jobs, your bosses, people you encounter, things like that. I really liked that. I like that you incorporated some different Crimson Knights so far into the story. And there were some really hilarious moments. I will say, at some point, I started to get a little confused because it seems like Saby was sort of a dog, but not a dog. That got a little bit confusing to me. So once, kind of in the last quarter of the last quarter of tonight's stream of the series thus far, I just kind of got a little bit confused about what was going on. But other than that little bit of confusion, I really like it. I have not laughed as much as I did tonight in a while. There were some really hilarious lines, and probably you didn't mean for them to be hilarious, but for whatever reason, just the way that they were written and the timing in the story just absolutely tickled me. And I will continue to be thinking about some of those lines for the rest of the week. So hilarious. So great job, Saby. I love, you know, branching out, trying to do kind of a different genre, a different story of fan fiction, and just kind of stretching yourself and diversifying your portfolio. So thank you so much for sharing this with us, Sabyasachi, and thank you for redeeming tonight's sub-night stream with Mune Rocks in the Loyalty Store, and having us spend the evening reading this together. GG's and Crimson Moons once again to Saby in the chat for those who have them. All right, Crimson Knights. I am feeling pretty tired though. So I think obviously we got to the end of the story thus far, and I think it's a great place for us to stop for the evening so that I can get to bed. But I will be streaming more for the next couple nights. So tomorrow and then Wednesday night, it's going to be back-to-back streams of Baldur's Gate 3. We're going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3. And then on Thursday night, I'm thinking we're going to do some Lego Fortnite Star Wars on Thursday night. Friday, I will not be streaming. We'll finally take a little break from streaming, and then we'll get back to streaming on the weekend again. So that's the plan for the week ahead. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for liking the video and being subscribed, joined, followed on the channel on Twitch and on YouTube. Special shout outs to Maddie and Leah for being joined members on the YouTube channel. Much appreciated. Really appreciate you. Thank you everybody for joining. Have a great night. Have a good Tuesday, and I will see many of you tomorrow night. Till then, Crimson Knights, stay safe and have a good one.